There's joking on my own spit. King of the Pit TV. This one's entitled Jesus of Suburbia. If you're just dropping in at this moment, I got halfway through this song before finding out my audio wasn't recording. So, it's not necessarily going to be my first listen through, but I definitely hadn't heard the second half of this song up until this point. So a little bit of background. I've seen that there's another song called St. Jimmy on this, right? So I don't know how correct I am in saying this, but I'm aware of this song because back in the day, I used to sleep at my grandparents every once in a while, right? And I'd switched the little telly box on in the bedroom, like when I went up to bed. It was that weekend. I didn't know to get up for it, so I stayed up a little bit later than maybe I should have at my age. And late on at night, when the programming had changed, there was like music videos on a particular channel, and I think it was channel 4. If you're based in England, let me know what channel it may have been. I don't think we had a Freeview box or anything at that time. It was just your 5 channels. And yeah, Jesus of Suburbia, I think played the music video of this played every once in a while on this channel, quite regular. So it was like, yeah, quite a popular one. I don't know if they played all 9 minutes of it. And there was a reference to St. Jimmy, which I said in the original recording of this video. But I don't know if that was like a flow into the song St. Jimmy. If they didn't want to go through the whole 9 minutes of this. Either way, let's get into it.
I'm the son of raging love, the Jesus of Suburbia, the Bible love, none of the above, only steady tired of. Started popping riddle lad. Now I never died for my sins, and now, as far as I can tell, these are ones I got away with, and there's nothing wrong with me. This is how I'm supposed to be.
So, don't get me wrong, I probably commented on this a little later in the song initially, but a thought that passed my mind as I started listening to this one is I've only listened to the one record prior to this, and that was Green Day's Dookie album, yeah? The writing on this already from the get-go is so much more mature. Perhaps there's been records in between, I'm sure there has been, right? Let me know if there's records in between. I've just jumped to this one because I know that people would enjoy me listening to American Idiot. And I've been requested to listen to the one after, I don't know what it's called, Summit Guns, Summit Rifles or something, but I'll get onto that one afterwards. I just need to listen to this for my own sake because this was like very influential back when I was a youth. Like a lot of the kids around me really got into Green Day, and I do associate this artwork with like a black hoodie, and obviously it tends to be too baggy for them, and they were good times. So what was I even going to say? So the songwriting in this is really good. We're going to get into it, but there's a lot of odd sort of substance, and structurally speaking, it's quite a bizarre song. It's progressive in a sense, but it doesn't sound odd or random.
Fix. Sitting on my crucifix, I live in a room on my private wall, while the moms and friends away. To follow love and follow death.
So I hear an acoustic guitar there underneath, just playing the same thing as the electric, but there's the high-end jangle of what sounds like an acoustic. It could very well be, I'm not a producer, so I can't be exact with it, but just I assume that it is an acoustic as opposed to like a clean guitar. Well, not a clean guitar, the distorted guitar. Like the microphone picking up the clean strums of it. I just don't know why I don't think that is. Surely you'd need a microphone pointed at the electric guitar as they were playing to sort of get that clarity of the clinking strings, right? And I don't see why you choose to do that. So I do think it's an acoustic, but I don't know.
Supposed to be in a land of make-believe, but don't believe
On a side note, back in the day, did you ever call anybody else Jesus? Did you have that long-haired fella, the long-haired fella who didn't really look like Jesus, but you called him Jesus anyway, or he might have had a nickname as Jesus? I definitely knew a lot of circles with that Jesus character. If you listen to them three chords there, that sounds like, I think it's maybe half a tone lower, but it sounds exactly like, it's the same tempo, the same rhythm as Time Bomb by Rancid, if you know that one. Boom, 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 ba-dum, boom, boom.
At the center of the earth in the parking lot of the 7-Eleven where I was taught the motto was just lie. It says always where your heart is, but what a shame, 'cause everyone's heart doesn't beat the same. It's beating out of time. City of the dead. At the end of another lost highway.
This section, yeah, listen to this. Let's listen to that again.
Time. City of the dead. At the end of another lost highway. Signs misleading to nowhere.
One more time, yeah, listen to this.
City of the dead.
You told me it was now or never. Those were the best days of our lives.
At the end of another lost highway. Signs
Who's that? Bruce Springsteen, yeah?
misleading to nowhere.
Same melody.
City of the dead. Lost children with dirty faces today. No one really seems to care. I read the graffiti in the bathroom stall like the holy scriptures of a shopping mall. It's how it seems to confess. It didn't say much, but it only confirmed that the center of the earth is the end of the world. And I can really care less. City of the dead. At the end of another lost highway. Signs misleading to nowhere. City of the dead. Lost children with dirty faces today. No one really seems to care. Hey!
Not so long before this, I listened to The Who, and they had a record called Quadrophenia, which was a rock opera. And I only just discovered in the comment section of this is a rock opera as well, perhaps. Maybe they're incorrect, but, you know, a few people said there was an accompanying play. Now, I got a question. Regarding albums, writing an album, composing an album, there seems to be, from my experience, just listening to these two records, right, is there a stronger element of concentration, focused, and connection in actually composing something a bit more theatrical and dramatic, as opposed to let's write songs for song's sake? Because there's so much more depth. If you can write an album that also has a corresponding image and you've had that in mind, a story to tell. I mean, it's all about telling stories, isn't it, at the end of the day, creating that connection, appealing to somebody's life, having them relate. And if you're storytelling, which is the oldest form of entertainment of all time, telling stories around the campfire, right? Is that the way to go? If you're in a band, maybe your 9-track album should be conceptual, not to a degree where it all has to make sense from start to finish, because concept albums I don't really like too much, but to think each and every song, you know what, we could really delve into a different realm here of artistry. I don't know, because the Who Quadrophenia was really good, and so far this has been so much more mature than the last Green Day record I heard. I'll give we are in the comments. And if you were to look at this, right, Red Bassist says, imagine being Green Day and recording this and not realising that you were creating one of the most passionate, heartfelt, meaningful and beautiful songs of arguably all time. That's someone's opinion. Someone is that touched by this tune. And actually, someone says they should turn this album into a movie. I don't know if that's a little bit tongue-in-cheek or what. They kind of did. It was a Broadway production a few years ago, alright? Cool, right, there you go. It's a rock opera. And somebody says, the liberal redneck says, 422 to 456, great, it's the most underrated moment in music history. All right, let's go. Punk Rock 101, I don't care if you don't care. This is arguably the most underrated bit of commentary. So they put the punk rock on full at this moment. The little punk rock section. First, I mean, arguably, I've got arguably on the mind now. That's going to be part of my vocab throughout the entire record. American Idiot, pretty punk rock, right? But this is like instrumentally, rhythmically quite punk rock. If you like that sound, you should check out a band called Ceremony, a US hardcore band. The middle of their catalogue, they ended up sounding like Joy Division at this period of their career. And initially they were just like really fast noise. But their middle section, where they delved into a little more British-esque sounding punk rock, yeah, it sounds a lot like what we just heard. So if you like that, check that out. Roanoke Park is the name of the record I'd recommend. Where are we going from here? That's that acoustic guitar. I knew it was in there. The space that's in between insane and insecure. Ooh. A glockenspiel, yeah? Stage dives. I've been walking on the heads of all the 14-year-olds at the front, all the emos. Army crawling over everyone's head, breaking necks. There we go again. I can already tell from the get-go, or at least the first couple of notes, the guitar solos are serving a purpose in that they are re-emphasising the hooks and the vocal melodies. We heard this somewhere before, but I've forgotten where. We've listened to a band that has done this. Bands do it generally. Smart bands who know what they want to do, right? And it's actually quite talented because it's very easy. Speaking from the perspective of a lead guitarist, it's very easy to pick up the guitar just noodling a key. But you actually have to play the right notes to do the right melodies, right? Easier said than done if you're not theoretically or ear trained like some people. I know I'm not, so I find this quite challenging. Bit of Bruce Springsteen came in again. These were the best days of our lives.
When there ain't nowhere you can go, running away from pain when you've been victimized.
These were the best days of our lives.
Tales from another broken.
Cool. That was Jesus of Suburbia. Yeah. If I was more into Green Day and I was like teenager and all of that, or even younger, yeah, I'd probably think this was like the most epic thing ever. You know, it's a bit long for me now, so I'm not going to lie to you. I want to give a shout out to whom it touched, though. It did touch a Red bassist, and it got an incredible reaction. That's top comment, 220, and the responses are, this album is an amazing rock opera. Whole album still gives me chills, and I was lucky enough to see the place. Shout out to Dawn. I think they were aware, says Henry Bamblam. Yeah. My man John says, I'm just getting into Green Day's later albums. Listen to them, Dookie Era, and this is blowing my mind. This is the best thing they ever did. John, you know what? I do think, from what I've heard so far, there is a great big stretch in the maturity since that record. So, you know what I mean? I go as far as agreeing. So that was Jesus of Suburbia. It's mad how they made such a progressive like instrumental out of just power chords, because they still keep it simple. They don't do anything too fancy in the instrumental, but they managed to create a lot of substance there. We got Holiday next, right? A little story for you on this one.